Well, hello there, everyone. Brian King here, using this new platform once again. It's called Smile Time. It allows me to broadcast from my desktop to Facebook Live. So I hope that you all are having an opportunity to watch this. And if this works correctly, if you put any comments or ask any questions on the video feed that you see on Facebook, those questions and comments should be shuffled over to Smile Time so I can see them interact with you. There may also be the option somewhere that will allow you to join me live and we'll have a side-by-side conversation video-wise. So if you see that option, give it a shot. But until then, let's get with the topic at hand. I see so many people, parents, professionals, children, teens, college students, who get stuck in the belief that the way they've always done things is the way things are always going to be done. In other words, they totally give up on the idea that they can change the way things have been. Tony Robbins has quoted several times the phrase, "The past does not equal the future," which I absolutely believe in. But I personalize it a little bit more when I say, your tendencies are not your destiny. Now, I've met people throughout the years, I've always done it that way. Oh, it'll be too hard to change. That's the way I've always done it. Or I've thought this way as long as I can remember. Or I've always felt this way about it. So they're talking about habits, thoughts, feelings that are very long-standing and very defeating, very unhelpful. So what I remind them of is that just because you tend to do things that way, just because you've tended in that direction for years, doesn't mean you are destined to continue to do so. Just this morning in my Facebook feed, I saw a very lengthy post from a mother who is obviously frustrated. She keeps bumping heads with her child. The child knows just how to push her buttons, and she responds in a reactive way. And she was upset with herself. And why do I always have to do it this way? Why do I always have to do it this way? You don't. You can continue to do it that way if you follow the same pattern you've been doing for all these years. This dance with your child that you both have subconsciously agreed to. But if you acknowledge that, I've tended to do this, I've tended to react this way, I've tended to believe that this is how I am to respond, I've tended to feel this way about it. So if you can identify that specific area within your being that gets triggered, is it a thought? Is it a feeling? What is it? Then you can begin to hone in on realizing that this tendency of yours is not creating the future that you want. It's not creating the outcome that you want, relationship you want, whatever it is. But first you have to have that belief that there is flexibility in the way you've always done things. That it's not something that is so ingrained in who you are or how you live your life that you're simply stuck in that pattern for the rest of your life. It starts with that, believing that things can change. And more importantly, that you can change them. I hear this one all the time. I even hear it from my own parents. Well, how do you expect me to be after how I was raised? Well, I expect you to take some time to acknowledge that you didn't like the parenting style that was done unto you, so why the heck would you pay it forward? I expect you to reflect and decide, no, I don't want this to be part of my legacy to my children, because having that as a legacy from my parents, frankly, sucked. I want to do better. Whether it's a negative habit that you have, leaving a mess wherever you go, arriving late to places. I don't know what it is. I'm just always late to things. Whatever you have declared that is simply a part of who you are, I must remind you again, your tendency is not your destiny. If you want to change it because that tendency is causing you a lot of problems, you first need to realize that it can change. And then you need to decide what you want to change it to. And everybody's circumstances are different. People's goals are different. So you need to reflect upon that too. So it doesn't matter if it's a style of doing things, it's a series of habits, or it's a personal characteristic. I'm just the kind that procrastinates. I'm just a procrastinator. You categorize yourself as though there is this elite group of people that blows things off till the last minute, and you are a member of that group. Not true. You tend to procrastinate does not mean you are destined to continue to procrastinate, but you must learn the mindset, tool set, and skill set to make the shift to what it is you want instead. So remember that one principle. Your tendency is not your destiny. And if you think that's going to be helpful to you, well, go ahead and comment. Let me know how you're going to use it. And if you want to problem solve how to use this better in your life, go ahead and private message me. I'm happy to coach you through it. And if you know of others who make comments about how I can't change, I'm too old, I've done this for too long, it's simply the way things are. If you need folks, if you know folks like this in your life, please share this with them. So hopefully they can consider that their tendency is not their destiny and that they can get better results than they're currently experiencing if that's what they want. This has been Brian King again. We'll talk soon.